This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
We have Chris back in the studio.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to DBL, October 29th. I'm Tori, here with Al, and Lindsay joins us from home. Lindsay, how you feeling today? Good?
Good. It's Friday Junior. What's going on?
Friday Junior. Also, you might notice I'm wearing a cool leopard outfit. Well, that's on purpose.
Why is that? Is there a reason?
There's a reason, you cool cats and kittens. What? Before we get started, we got to tease you a little bit. Coming up in a few minutes, I am chatting with Tiger King star Carole Baskin.
Cannot wait.
Cannot
yes.
wait. It is a no holds barred with the reigning reality TV queen. You do not want to miss this. And yes, I asked the questions you wanted me to ask. Like, I know. So this is it. All right. I'm excited. Tune in for that. It's going to be perfect.
No, you had it and then fumbled the ball right at the end.
Right at the end zone. Love it. All right. Well, this is it. We're in the home stretch for the election. And get this, the 2020 election is now the most bet-on event in history. So already more than $260 million in wagers have been placed. That's more than the Kentucky Derby or the last Super Bowl. What are the odds? Well, Biden is favored to win at 65%. President Trump's chances are at almost 35%. Now, those odds are a little different, okay, from what the latest polls are saying, which if you look at them, Biden is leading in all but one, with an average of Biden up by about 7.5 points. But after 2016, right, a lot of people, including me, don't trust the polls. But experts say you can trust them this time because they've done a better job reading the president's base, as well as the fact that there are fewer undecided voters this time around. So we got to go to you guys because we're always asking about you. We want to know what you think. Do you trust the polls? And I mean the polls, not, the polls that go out and ask about the voters.
As opposed to which other polls?
Well, someone wrote in, the only poll I trust is my Polish nurse, Aga.
Wow.
Larry.
I was thinking telephone, maybe?
That's a good one, too. So go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Someone named Larry is a good sense of humor. Lindsay, do you trust the polls? Question mark.
I think in 2016 it was supposed to be this electoral wipeout, and I think a lot of people just stood by and were kind of confused about all the things the polls told us versus what we actually saw as the outcome. I think it's really going to come down to Pennsylvania and what happens there, but I don't know, because 2016 was so off that I really am just like, we'll see what happens after Election Day. And like we've all been talking about, I don't know if we'll know what's going to happen on Election Day.
I think we will.
We might find out weeks, if not months later.
I think we'll know. I think I'm going to go out and say I think we'll know. But remember, last time in 2016, Hillary was up by about 2.1%, and this time we have Vice President Biden up by 7.5. So there's a difference there in margin of error that I think we should take into account.
I think a lot of people will question, like, how can you account for people that didn't vote in 2016, but then saw the Trump presidency and says, I can't believe I didn't vote for this guy, so I'm going to vote in 2020. Or somebody that voted for him in 2016 and was like, I can't believe the job he's done, I'm not going to vote for him. Like, how do you account for people's emotions if you don't directly poll them? I think it's what I'm not asking you to answer that. I'm just saying I think a lot of people would ask that.
And it's true. And I think 2016 really messed up when they didn't put a lot of education, what your education level was. They weighted it heavier this year because it turned out to be a big difference in 2016. So let's take a look at the megaphone. 84% of you say no. Wow.
Why y'all hating on polls like that?
Well, we always talk about the fact that none of us on this panel have ever been polled.
Okay.
So, like, who are these people
but
that
they
are
don't
getting
have to
polled?
poll you directly, Lindsay. It's like they just kind of get an
Excuse
idea.
me, yes, my voice matters.
This is, to Lindsay's point, Joe, I've never been polled in my life. Who the hell gets polled? Old lifetime political junkies, it's true. Raise your hand out there if you know anyone that's been polled.
I don't know.
Okay. Peter says
we need the cricket sound effect.
Peter says I trust the poll averages and trends. This year they'll be more accurate. But Jeffrey says new poll, 14% of Americans believe that pink lemonade comes from pink lemons. I sense the sarcasm. Yeah. I sense it well. Thanks, Peter. Well, let's talk about why the election is so important. The fall surge in coronavirus cases is really heating up. Yesterday, we had more than 81,000 new cases reported. Just take a moment to look at that and understand that's a human being, each of those. A new daily record, more than 40 states now are reporting increasing numbers. In Wisconsin, one of states that has hit the hardest, officials are now telling folks stay home, except when absolutely necessary. But this time, the surge is not just in America, it's in Europe. And now they're shutting back down. Both France and Germany are going back into lockdown, with businesses like bars, restaurants, and theaters closing down. When the holiday season comes up, some countries are taking extreme measures to enforce safety protocols. Get this, I don't know how a lot of people feel about this, but police chiefs in England are saying they will break up holiday celebrations, knocking on doors of people who are not following the rules. Al, how do you take that? What do you feel like? It's like, we wish you a...
Yeah, in a weird way, I feel sorry for the police officers.
Yeah, that's not easy on them.
To have to do that is not what you signed up to do. But again, you know, we always show America in snapshots of Americans not following protocol, and that's not great either. But you know what I've seen a lot of? I've seen a lot of strips of bars in Europe wide open, you know, soccer bars where people are packed shoulder to shoulder. And look, this virus doesn't care what language you speak, where you're from. If you don't respect the protocols, it will come back. They said this was going to happen, and here we are. So either we fully accept this lockdown, or Tori and Lindsay, we kind of have 4 to 6 kind of maybe sort of maybe kind of lockdowns, which is almost worse.
Linz, what's your take on this?
I don't know, because I was talking to my old boss who is about to retire, and he was telling me that his daughter will not let him come to our home for Thanksgiving, and he's so offended because he wants to take the precautions, wants to get on a plane. And so I understand how tough it is going to be around the holiday season, and to think that police are going to be barging in people's homes and like ripping families apart in the UK, it sounds really extreme. I understand we need to protect ourselves, but I think there have been proven ways that people have been safe for the most part while getting around and with their family.
Yeah, I agree. And when people talk about what about the economy, I just want to remind people you can't have an economy if no one's there. You've got to fix the pandemic, in my opinion, before you fix the economy, because it's lives that are being risked. I understand it's tough. I do get it. Businesses are out there and they're struggling, and we're not getting help from government. I totally believe that and write that in. But I do think at some point,
I mean, consumer safety is important.
Very much so. And I want people to understand that we get that. But I also want people to understand that unless you really take it seriously, this won't go away. It doesn't care. It'll keep coming back and back. So let us know your take on that. And if you're in Europe, write us in. We'd love to hear from you. Now, before we go to break, we want to send our thoughts and prayers. Everyone on the Gulf Coast, we are thinking of you. Hurricane Zeta made landfall in Louisiana yesterday as a Category 2 storm. At least 2 people have died, and now nearly 2 million are without power. It's heading up the East Coast now as a tropical storm, and I know we have a ton of viewers down there in areas that have been affected. We just really want to say we here at DBL, we are thinking of you. We're hoping from the best. We know a lot's going on right now. There's a lot in the world going on. There's full moons, there's daylight savings, there's Halloween, there's pandemics, and now this. Just know we are thinking of you, and we got your back. Lindsay, don't go away. Coming up on DBL, Nothing's Off Limits with Tiger King's breakout star Carole Baskin. It's the interview you've been asking for, and we've got it. Plus, there's a new reality show all about mama's boys. I'm so turned off.
I've watched this show.
This is disgusting. When does the bond between mother and son go a bit too far? Already it's too far. Don't go away. Why are they looking at lingerie?
You'll find out.
Oh, God.
Seer.
Welcome back to DBL. All right, let's talk. There's a new show on TLC. It's gotten a lot of attention, and I don't like it. I Love a Mama's Boy looks at the lives of men who have a really close relationship with their moms. So close, one even invited mom along to go lingerie shopping for his girlfriend. Let's take a creepy look.
Well, my son wants to get something beautiful for his girlfriend with a little bit of razzle-dazzle for Valentine's Day. I was hoping that you could help us.
I've been in business for 13 years. I do not have a lot of mothers and sons shopping for lingerie at my store.
If you thought that was awkward, take a look at this scene of a mom waking up her son and his girlfriend in bed.
Good morning.
Morning.
Time to get up. Here you go.
Kelly.
Here you go. You're welcome. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Still warming up to the idea of living with Matt's mother.
Matt, you've said nothing. All right, have you been a mama's boy or dated one? This is such a turnoff for me. Not that you're close with your mother. I love, my husband's very close with his mother. But the sexual weird part of that, just, Al?
It's, I have not dated a mama's boy, but I have
Are
seen
you?
the show. I'm not.
Okay.
You know, and I've seen the show, and it is very weird. First of all, the thing that's strange is they openly have disdain for the girlfriends. It's not like I can, the mothers. It's not like I can take or leave them, Lindsay. It's like I am barely tolerating your presence.
Wow.
And it's such a weird thing. Like one of the guys lets the mom come to the Valentine's Day dinner as 3. I mean, Lindsay, explain this to me. I don't know.
Tell us about the razzle dazzle.
Yes.
Listen, I appreciate that somebody's mom or somebody's girlfriend or partner gets along with somebody's mom. That's very important. But I don't understand all this extra stuff like we're making decisions all together, because you know what happens when you go lingerie shopping? That's number one. Then number two, they're making decisions on what house you buy. Next thing, they're deciding on where your kids go to school. Like, it's just too much.
Lindsay,
like, you gotta be like, okay, I'm the wife.
Lindsay, they have done that with the house you buy. The mom bought a house on her property, and they live in
Like
the
a
back
compound?
in a tinier house. Yes, Lindsay,
her
that
house.
face.
No, come on.
They live in a small house right behind their mom. Like they almost touch doors. It's
I don't
very
understand
weird.
how you're like okay in that kind of relationship.
It's the idea.
Go ahead.
I know it's the idea that a mom never thinks anybody's good enough for her son, but like, come on now. Like, if he's gonna marry or be with somebody seriously, you're gonna have to like give a little space to be.
I like the come on now. We just got someone who wrote, an Air Beans wrote, I threw up in my mouth 10 times just now. Someone also says, I have a mama boy. This is Brandy Sprong. Granted, he's only 6, but I would never do that. You bait and switched us, Brandy. And someone just said, oh, hell no.
Yeah. Whoever said that, watch the show.
Marquita,
we just showed
appreciate
like
that.
a little bit. It's crazy.
Well, I'm not interested. Coming up, DBL Nation, it's the interview you've all been waiting for.
Is it with me?
It's not at all. You're not involved in any way, shape, or form. Tiger King star Carole Baskin, she holds nothing back. Coming up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back to DBL. There's a lot that has happened this year that no one could have predicted, that's true. The rise of Carole Baskin, though, might be the strangest of them all. A big cat activist from Tampa is now a household name thanks to the popular documentary Tiger King. Well, earlier, I spoke with Carole about how her life has changed in many ways she never expected. So, without further ado, here's part one of that interview, right meow, in today's Chatting with the Stars.
They have a heart and a soul and a mind. I've learned from them. But Carole Baskin keeps saying, I can't have these tigers.
If he ever had an enemy in his life, it was Carole Baskin.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carole at Big Cat Rescue.
Joining us is Carole Baskin. Welcome to Daily Blast Live, Carole. You just made an announcement, actually, that you identify as bisexual, and that made huge news. I wanted to know if there's a reason you decided to make this part of your life public.
Well, first of all, hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Yes!
You know, second, here we are. Mother Nature has sent us all to our rooms to reconsider our relationship with wildlife. And when you think about all of the important things that we could and should be talking about, and yet all the media wants to talk about is my sexual identity, I'm old enough to be your grandmother, for crying out loud. Do you really want to talk about your grandmother's sex life from 40 years ago? I don't separate people by what gender they are or what color they are or their nationality or their creed or their religious differences. I believe that we are all one. I just don't separate that difference between male and female. I've always felt like I was both. People are acting like this is some big revelation. Right. It's like it's 40 years ago. And I haven't changed during all this time. It's just nobody ever asked me point blank what my belief was on it. And when I told them, oh my gosh, what a storm.
Let's move on ourselves. Let's talk about Dancing with the Stars. First of all, what was that like? How did you enjoy it? And why did you say yes? And was it as hard as people say? People say it's like the most grueling thing they go through.
Yes, it was the hardest thing I have ever done physically. Oh my gosh, I had no idea what kind of athletes these people were and are. And that's why I still watch every single episode now, because I want to cheer those people on, because I know they have bleeding blisters underneath those socks.
It's true.
Everybody's stuck at home right now. They can't do all the things that we used to do. And we're looking for some kind of diversion, which explains an awful lot of what we just talked about. The fact that they are going through what they're going through to bring that to people, they have no idea what it's like to be COVID tested every day and have that probe sent up into your brain to make sure that you aren't going to infect your dance partner.
Why did you say yes, and did you hesitate to say yes?
After Tiger King, we were approached by over 200 media outlets saying they wanted to tell my story. And then my daughter saw the list and she said, well, I really like Dancing with the Stars. I think that would be fun.
The Tiger King we have to talk about, but out of everyone, you were the only one who spoke up for the cats, anyone. I want to start off with your big cat rescue in Tampa. Just tell us how the park is holding up.
We had closed our gates because the way we do tours is we put 20 people together and we have a tour guide and a backup, and they go through the sanctuary hearing every story about our 50 cats. So we closed our gates to tours, and then 5 days later, I think, Tiger King came out and painted us as this horrific place that was no better than these roadside zoos that were abusing cats. And people were calling me like every 2 minutes around the clock for 3 months, screaming obscenities and that they wanted to kill the cats because they were better off dead than in cages. And so we couldn't possibly let people onto the property with that kind of mentality out there. So that cut down a third of our income. We're talking $1 million that we lost because of COVID-19 and Tiger King hitting back to back.
We are not done talking to Carole Baskin yet. There's a lot more in part 2 of our Carole Baskin interview. Here's a sneak peek. Tomorrow, Carole Baskin dives into her ongoing feud with Joe Exotic, and hear Carole's message to anyone who believes she's responsible for her ex-husband's disappearance. What is your message, Carole, to the people who say you killed your husband? What do you want to be able to say?
It's not just my word against their word. I've got the public record. I mean, you can go to the courthouse that the things that they had implied there are just not true.
Daily Blast Live will be back after this.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for some sweet, sweet deals.
Yes.
Earlier, Steph showed me some amazing products at even better prices. Here is this week's DBL Deal Blast presented by MorningSave.com. All right, Steph, what do you have for us today?
This Croft Ab Lunar Travel jewelry wallet made from premium vegan leather, and it's linen lined, and it's got enough room for all of your favorite jewelry. It has lots of different compartments and pockets so you can organize everything. Now, normally this is $79, but we've got it for $20, which means you're saving 75%. Okay, next, this is the Remo Bell with equipped smart video doorbell camera just here. Whoa. So it lets you see, hear, and talk to your visitors even when you're away from home. So normally this is $199, but we've got it for $79, saving our viewers 60%.
Brilliant.
Okay, now Tori, this is the Laura Ashley pin interchangeable watch band set. Ooh. So this fashion elegant watch will pair with any outfit, whether it's day or night, because you can mix and match. Look, all these different bands. Now, normally this is $395, but we've got it for $25, which means you're saving 94%. Oh my gosh, and it had a pretty hefty price tag, $395, and then we're giving it, I feel like we're giving it away for $25.
Take it.
Last Tory, but not least, it's the 2-pack Stelly Iron No Touch antimicrobial keys. So these simple yet effective hygiene keys are made of brass, and they open door handles, they can press keypad buttons. Now, normally these are $30, but we've got them for $12, saving 60%.
Thank you so much, Steph. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Steph. Little touch things, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we got comments, all right? This is all about Mama's Boy. Tina writes in, I dated a Mama's Boy once. He brought her along on our first date. He called her his chaperone. There wasn't a second.
Wow.
Oh, Joy says that show's going to be my new binge, and Veronica says 2 words, Norman Bates.
It is a little
Norman
weird.
Batesy.
Every relationship, you're like, this is just weird. Lindsay, have you seen the show?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this show yet, but I'm gonna watch it just so I can tell Colin what I'm not gonna accept.
So good. DBL, we are new every day. Tune in. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.